Welcome back to Weekly Briefing. Joe Biden this week urged more companies to start requiring that their employees be vaccinated, citing the fact that the FDA now approved one of the vaccines. Here's what he had to say.
I've imposed vaccination requirements that will reach millions of Americans. Today I'm calling on more companies, I should say, in the private sector to step up with vaccine requirements that will reach millions more people. If you're a business leader, a nonprofit leader, a state or local leader who has been waiting for full FDA approval to require vaccinations, I call on you now to do that. Require it. Do what I did last month. Require your employees to get vaccinated or face strict requirements.
That sounds like a threat to me, Robin. What do you think?
I think that our president is completely deceitful, as is the mainstream media, because by saying that the vaccine has been given the FDA seal of approval, it's deceptive because it's not the jab that they're currently giving. What's been approved is a vaccine that's coming out in 2 to 3 years. So people are going to go ahead and get vaccinated, believing that the FDA has given it the stamp of approval, and they're not going to have any liability. The Pfizer is completely indemnified, so there's no repercussions if things go wrong legally.
That is so deceptive. This week, LA Times columnist Jean Guerrero went viral on Twitter for pointing out that outreach efforts to inform Latino voters on the California recall election just aren't working. She referred to Latinos as Latinx, a made-up term that aims to pander to woke transgender activists. Are these made-up words starting to hurt Democrat outreach efforts? Malik.
Yeah, so pretty much people have tuned this out. There's a lot going on there in California. The whole concept of, or as you said, it is a made-up word. And if you listen to a lot of Latinos, they reject the use of this X at the end of it anyway. But what we're seeing in California is similar to what we're seeing really around the country. I think it's a bigger problem with this, whether it is our military concerned about white rage that led to the Capitol riot, or now adding things, suffixes, to the ends of words. It is not good, but it's part of this whole woke culture that really is backfiring on the American people, because I think whether it's the Latino community, the black community, whites, Asians, gays, it doesn't matter. Everyone, they're now seeing that this stuff is absolutely BS. And I mean that in a very soft way.
And Terry, I know your organization has done some work on this. What do you make of the Latino versus Latinx?
It's completely ridiculous. I grew up in a Hispanic church in Silvis, Illinois called Our Lady Guadalupe. I never heard that word until like 3 years ago.
Well, they just made it up.
They just made it up.
But they made it up to show how compassionate and caring they are.
And woke. I mean, they just want you to know how compassionate they are. This is great, though. It's a great opportunity for conservatives and really America to expose the woke left for being completely out of touch and not having any of the values. Everyone knows that Latinos have been voting Democratic for so many years, even though the Democrats don't align with them on anything.
But not anymore.
Not anymore.
I think that tide has turned.
It's starting to change, of course. No,
yeah.
It's especially along the southern border. This is what's fascinating. Along the southern border, where there's chaos and people coming through, the Hispanics are all voting for Donald Trump like crazy.
Yeah,
I mean, they're on our team. So this is great. It's going to continue the divide and push them into our camp.
All right. As the shameful handling of the Afghanistan takeover by the Taliban, helmed by Joe Biden, rambles on, videos of Afghans stranded at the Kabul airport started to come out this week. One man clearly only blames one person for the situation that his family has been put in.
And their parents are inside and their children are outside. Right here, they're standing right here.
Amid the chaos, we were shown 2 children apparently left behind when their parents were among the few to be admitted here.
Mr. Biden, you did this, you planned this, you made the deal with the Taliban. This is the consequences of it. This is the repercussions of it. Mr. Biden, it's your ill calculation. You were against Trump, now we are against you. Go to hell, Biden!
Oh, God, that's hard to watch. Andrew, what's your reaction?
Yeah, there's a lot going on here, and this is a heartbreaking scene, but we have to remember that despite images like this, there are American citizens that remain at risk out in Kabul and in larger Afghanistan. Nothing else matters if we abandon our countrymen. We cannot abandon our fellow American citizens, regardless of the fact that most of them probably don't vote like us. It does not matter. They're citizens, and we must pour every resource into securing their safe passage back to the United States.
Yeah, and I just want to ask you real fast. We've got to run on to the lightning round, but isn't this the party, the Democrat Party, aren't they the humanitarian party? Aren't they the ones that care about people?
That's always been a means to an end. It's always been an opiate for their voters. So, yeah, that has no worth in this. The fact is they are bungling, they're doing this as if they planned to make these mistakes, but in fact, all they're doing is they're executing in accordance with their ideology, which is flawed, and we're seeing the results of that.
All right, it is time for the lightning round. Here we have 3 minutes and give the panelists each 10 seconds to answer and get through as many questions as possible. We'll start with Malik. Do you think we'll have more lockdowns due to the Delta variant in the fall and winter?
There's going to be a big debate about it, but I imagine it will happen.
Yes, lockdowns are useful to the Democrats, so there will be more.
Particularly around elections?
They're going to try, but I don't think the American people are going to go along with it like they did last time.
I hope the American people don't go along with it, but don't let a good crisis go to waste. This is their opportunity.
All right, does it matter that the FDA approved the Pfizer vaccine? Malik?
No, they've already decided if they are or if they aren't going to take the vaccine. Doesn't matter at all.
No, not at all.
Nope.
I think people will be beguiled, and some people will take it believing that it has been approved.
Okay. Should the Cuomo name be removed from the former Tappan Zee Bridge? Malik?
Hey, that's a New York decision, but I do believe that they actually took Cuomo's Emmy.
Ooh, interesting.
Yes, because Mario Cuomo, Andrew and Chris's father, was just as corrupt, if not more, than both of them together.
Yes, we need to forget the Cuomos ever existed.
I concur. Get rid of the name.
All right. Where is Kamala Harris, Malik?
Well, she's in Singapore, but the question is whether or not she's being effective, and we don't have any evidence of that thus far.
Hiding as far away from Joe Biden as she can. Wherever he is, she's going to try to find some spot on the opposite side of the world, and that's where she's going to conduct her business.
I think she's sparking up a joint, listens to some tooth.
She's hiding from Biden.
Hiding from Biden. There we go. I like that. Hashtag. Okay. Do Americans believe the Biden administration has a plan to remove the remaining Americans from Afghanistan?
No, I think the American people have lost faith in Joe Biden.
I agree with that. No.
No faith.
Zero faith.
I think people can see through it. Okay, last question. Will more parents run for school board seats in the next election?
Absolutely, yes.
Yes, and we're seeing the effects of that already.
Absolutely. It's so important because there's thousands of unfilled seats, and there are thousands of incumbents that don't get a challenge every year. So this is a huge opportunity. They're going to do it.
They better for the good of their children and the good of this country.
Absolutely. Don't go anywhere. When we come back from the break, we cover the panel's choice and see which topics they thought were important. We'll be right back.